Copenhagen was faced with an important dilemma. The Danish capital was growing quickly, and a complete new district was planned to the south of the city center. We are already in the 1990s, so building it for cars only was already out of fashion. So how was the city going to connect this new development to the outside world and allow for enormous growth? And how to efficiently bring it to the city center? Bring back the trams that we ripped out less than 20 years ago? Or will we embark on a journey with the newest technology out there, an automated metro? As you clicked on this video, we all know the result, but let's check this out. The construction of the metro system is closely tied to the development of the Ridership area in the southeast of the capital, fully located on the island of Amager. In 1992, the Danish parliament approved the Ridership Act, under which the development of a light rail was foreseen. Several variants were on the table, such as regular street-running trams and a German-style Stadtbahn system, with tram vehicles running in tunnels in the city center. The other option was an automated mini-metro, and well, this became the choice. The metro was seen as the optimal solution, despite its higher initial costs. It would attract more ridership, have a higher capacity, and it would have the least impact on both the environment and the current traffic situation in Copenhagen. In 1996, the construction contracts were signed, and construction started in 1997. The consortium COMET, which stands for Copenhagen Metro Construction, was responsible for the construction, and Ansaldo STS for the integrated solution of tracks, control, trains and electrical supply systems. Copenhagen became the first city to adopt AnsaldoBreda's driverless trains. The first sections of the metro were opened on the 19th of October 2002, with services running from Europoort to Vestamager on line M1 and from Europoort to Leergraafsparken on line M2. In 2003, the extension from Europoort to Venleuze was opened, and in 2007, the extension of line M2 from Leergraafsparken to Copenhagen Airport opened. It quickly became a very successful system, with good ridership, and it received various awards for its design, as well as the Metrowheel Award for Best Metro in 2008. Even before opening the final section of line M2, the Danish parliament approved the construction of the M3 line, which would form a circle around the city center, connecting various public transport hubs, as well as previously disconnected areas. Construction started in 2011, and this line opened in 2019. As a branch of line M3, the first section of line M4 was opened in 2020 to serve the new development area Nordhavn. The second section of line M4 to Copenhagen South was opened only last year. This brings us to the network of today. This is the metro network of Copenhagen. The network is around 43.3 kilometers long, and it uses the standard gauge of 1435 mm. Trains collect their current from a 750 volt DC third rail, and the metro system has 2 depots. Let's take a look at the lines. We start with line M1, which runs between Venleuze and Vestamager. It has 15 stations across 13.1 km. Then we continue with line M2, which runs between Copenhagen Airport and Venleuze. It shares the same track across the city center with line M1 from Christianshavn. Line M2 has 16 stations and is 14.2 km long. Line M3 is a circular line around the city center, with 17 stations across 15.5 km. It connects to lines M1 and M2 at Kongens Nytorv, Frederiksberg. One of its most important stations is Copenhagen Main Station. And finally we get to line M4, which runs between Copenhagen South and Orientkai. It runs alongside line M3 between Copenhagen Main Station and Østerport, which is another important railway station. Especially the junction here is impressive. Copenhagen's metro is fully automatic and runs at an incredible frequency. Every line runs at intervals of 3 to 6 minutes. As the network is interlined, intervals are between 1.5 and 3 minutes on the core sections Venløse, Christianshavn and Copenhagen Main Station Østerpoort. In case of slight delays, the automatic system comes really into play, allowing trains to follow each other very closely. The underground stations are all quite similar, adding to the unified network. The standard station box is augmented with some unique features. The platforms are equipped with platform screen doors. As Copenhagen has a proof of payment ticketing system, no ticket barriers are required. Instead, tickets are being inspected on board of the trains. This saves a lot of space in the station facilities. The Copenhagen Metro operates 24/7, which is an incredible level of service. Due to the automation, but also because of the smart planning of the infrastructure, only a minor reduction of frequency is necessary to perform the necessary maintenance. Operations can be shifted to a single track to maintain the other track. Copenhagen Airport is therefore 24/7 accessible by metro, a very important feat. Besides the high level of automation, 2 control centers are active in Copenhagen. They are based at the depots and are therefore split like this: Vestamager Control Center for lines M1 and M2 and Vestbygade for line M3 and M4. Currently, the metro is operated by Metro Service, which is a joint venture between Hitachi Rail and ATM, the public transport agency of Milan. Milan operates 2 metro lines with the same technology in its city. This video about the metro system of Copenhagen is part of an already 49 episode long series of videos of transport systems. I would love to show you many more in the future. Therefore, it would be really helpful if you like my video and subscribe to my channel. Let's now take a look at the trains. The metro of Copenhagen is young and tied to the development of the automated metro technology of AnsaldoBreda, now part of Hitachi Rail. This obviously had an influence on which trains are purchased, and these are the driverless trains by AnsaldoBreda. These trains are 39 meters long and 2.65 meters wide, across 3 sections. They were delivered together with the opening of the lines. The second batch, for lines M3 and M4, is much younger and therefore makes use of some improved technology. Nevertheless, passengers will not notice that much difference between them. As the oldest trains are already 23 years in operation, they are receiving an overhaul by Alstom in Rotterdam. This will extend their lifetime by another 10 years at a minimum. Let's now take a look at the ridership. The metro in Copenhagen is well used, and in some cases already quite crowded. In 2024, the metro transported around 126 million passengers, which is around 344,000 passengers per day. Copenhagen's metro company is very open with its data, which allows for far more insights than usual. Kongens Nytorv, the station in the very heart of Copenhagen, and the main transfer station, is the busiest station on the metro system. On lines M1 and M2, this station has 30,000 passengers on average per working day. On lines M3 and M4, this station has 26,000 passengers on average. However, for stations serving a single metro corridor, Nørreport is the busiest, due to its connection with a popular train station. Nørreport has around 38,000 passengers per working day. Other busy stations are Copenhagen Central Station, Copenhagen Airport and Frederiksberg, which is another transfer station. Let's now dive into the plans for the future of the system. Similar to the development of other parts of the network, the future projects of the metro in Copenhagen are closely following the city's new development areas. The first of 2 developments is the extension of line M4 to Ure Nordhavn, one of Copenhagen's largest new residential areas. This extension will start at the existing station Orientkaj and will continue to 2 new stations. The extension will be fully elevated, and its targeted opening is in 2030. The other new development is the brand new line M5. This line will fulfill multiple roles at once. It will connect parts of the city that have not received a proper connection yet. It will also connect the brand new development area of Lynetteholm, and also it will provide an additional connection between the main station and existing lines M1 and M2. This will reduce pressure from the central sections and Kongens Nytorv station. Line M5 is planned to open in 2 phases, with the first phase of 6 stations opening in 2036 and the second phase by 2045. And that's it for the metro system of Copenhagen. Click here to take a ride on Copenhagen's metro system and see what it is like. As always, thank you for watching.